Good afternoon, everybody, and Happy New Year to everybody. I know we had the levy on the 1st, and today's the 8th, but some of you haven't run into, so, and out in TV land also. It's good to be back for our first meeting in 2024. The City of Belleville acknowledges we are meeting today on the traditional territory of many nations. The municipality operates on the unceded and unsurrendered lands of our Indigenous peoples. We recognize and honor the historic relationships of Indigenous peoples to this land and acknowledge our shared obligation to respect, honor, and sustain these lands and their natural resources contained within. We recognize all First Nations, Métis, and Inuit who call Belleville their home and support the need for cultivating a strong relationship with them. We look forward to fostering a path towards reconciliation and show respect for the Indigenous peoples who first lived and currently live on the land where we all now reside together. I will call this meeting to order, and I note that everybody is present except Councillor Carr has come down with, he is sick. Please remain standing for a moment of reflection. City Councillor, or from City Clerk Matt McDonald.
May we be worthy custodians of all that has been entrusted to us. Help us to be concerned only for what will promote good government. May we bring to our council chamber minds that think and hearts that feel, always having respect for others so that we may serve the people of our city in a helpful manner and for the good of all.
Please be seated. Disclosure of pecuniary interest and general nature thereof. Councillor Brown.
Thank you. I have an indirect on item 8B7 and item 9, bylaw number 2024-07. My son owns property at 19 Prince of Wales Drive.
Okay.
And the paperwork has been given to the clerk.
You're one step ahead of me today, so that's not hard though, right? So having that, we'll need a motion for reading and confirmation of minutes. Oh, Millette?
Yes, under potential conflict, 8C2 under items for general information. Should we open and discuss 8C2B resolution from City of Stratford requesting blah, blah, yada, blah, urging the federal governments to provide business support for CEBA loan business? I may be in a conflict as my wife has a CB loan out.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Millette. Councillor Enright Miller.
Thank you, Chair. I also have a conflict with the same number as Councillor Brown. I have a relative that own on Prince of Wales Drive.
Okay, thank you for that.
Thank you.
Anybody else? That's a record. So I need a motion for a special budget council meeting minutes of December 6, 2023, regular council minutes of December 11th, 23, and regular in-camera meeting minutes of December 11th, 23. Councillor Chatton, Councillor Alsop, discussion, all in favor, carried. I need a resolution now to go in committee of the whole, that council rise and go committee of the whole, and to invite Councillor, who's today? Oh, Councillor Kelly in the chair. Moved by Councillor Alsop, second by Councillor Chatton. All in favor, carried. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. And Happy New Year as well to all the folks here on the fourth floor. Let's go into 8A1, Belleville's Transit Multi-Year Accessibility Plan Resolution, that pursuant to the Accessibility Coordinator's Report number ACC 2024-01, Council approved the 2023-2027 Belleville Transit Multi-Year Accessibility Plan. Can we get a mover? Councillor Barb Enright Miller and seconded by Councillor Brown. Any discussion? Councillor Miller. Enright Miller, sorry.
Thank you, Chair. And Happy New Year, everyone. Nice to see everybody back. I just, if I can, just have a few words about the Transit Multi-Year Accessibility Plan. If I may, I would like to offer thanks to all of those who worked so hard to see this transit multi-year accessibility plan 2023 to 2027 to the final stages of acceptance by council today. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Lucas Cuddy. Lucas is a second-year social service worker placement student from Loyalist College. I, as well as Councillor Kelly, had the pleasure of working with Lucas, who worked alongside our AODA coordinator, Nicole Yancey, in writing, obtaining required approvals on time, and revising the TMAP. Lucas did a tremendous job, and I wanted to recognize him for all of his efforts, as well as Nicole Yancey, our coordinator. I would also like to thank the transit supervisors and the transportation and operational service managers for their assistance. Both the Belleville Accessibility Advisory Committee, Councillor Brown and the Transit Advisory Committee, and the full Transit Advisory Committee, as well as members of the public who provided crucial feedback. As chair of the Belleville Accessibility Advisory Committee, BAAC, we are pleased to have our AOD coordinator, Nicole Yancey, circulate and present for approval by council the Transit Multi-Year Accessibility Plan 2023-2027. This plan sets out goals to address barriers in the transit system. Accessible public transit is essential for people with disabilities to access employment, education, community services, leisure, and recreation. Public transit is an important part of the transportation standard that is established in the Integrated Accessibility Standard that is part of the Accessibilities of Ontario's with Disabilities Act. AODA is a provincial legislation which sets accessibility standards in key areas. The goal is for all citizens to have equal opportunity to use spaces without barriers and have access to goods and services freely with full inclusion. Under this legislation, each city is required to develop, implement, and maintain a TMAP that includes conventional, specialized, and accessible taxis. This TMAP, which we are seeking approval on today, is a living document and will help guide our municipality along the path to remove transit barriers and improve accessibility in the City of Belleville. There are important links between the corporate map that Council approved on November 27, 2023, and the TMAP presented to you today for approval. In the map, the BAAC stated that one of its priority areas for 2023 to 2027 is public transit. The BAAC has been and is committed to working with Belleville Transit Services to continue to address barriers that people with disabilities experience using conventional and specialized transit. With that being said, I would ask Council support and approval for the Transit Multi-Year Accessibility Plan 2023 to 2027. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Enright Miller. Any other discussion, comments? I'm also, can I say a few words about this here? I just wanted to welcome Karen Kitchen, who's on our Accessibility Committee for the City of Belleville. She's been a strong voice to make our city more inclusive for years. Welcome, Karen. All right, all those in favor? Approved, thank you. All right, thank you. Then we need to get a mover. A seconder, sorry. Councillor Brown. All those in favor? Approved. Oh, sorry, discussion, any discussion? That's all right. All right, it's approved, thank you. We'll go down to 8A3, Mobility Transit Service as a core municipal service. Resolution that pursuant to the General Manager of Transportation and Operation Services Report, number GMTOS 2024-01, Mobility Transit Service is established as a core municipal service, and that the funds for the services provided be collected from ridership revenues, public funding, federal and provincial funds, and grants as available and through property tax levies. Can we get a mover? Councillor Brown, seconded by Councillor Millette. Any discussion? Councillor Millette.
Thank you, Chair. Through you to, I guess, well, Mr. Reed or, well, yeah, as I read the report on this, fares for associated, when it comes to costs, fares, we're looking at only $200 in fares, and the overall costs are actually somewhere in the neighborhood of $81,900. And the remaining, as I understand this motion to be that we will use a combination of provincial gas tax where we can and the rest on the tax bill. Do we know the impact on residential? Okay, it's here. Do we know roughly what that works out to in interest? Because we had quite a discussion on this matter, especially as it pertains to Ward 2 and Route 9. Do we know the financial impact on the tax bill of this decision?
And we'll go to Mr. Reed, yeah, or Ms. Brandon, yeah.
I can answer it if you
Or Brand?
Through Chair to Councilor Millette. Essentially what this report is doing, it started last year with our operating budget in 2023, and it was funded through provincial gas tax as the first year startup of moving the mobility service to the rural area. So funding for that till April of 2024 is currently funded. For the remaining 8 months of this calendar year, the impact to an average taxpayer will be about $8.99 in urban Campton, rural Campton, and rural, and there's a slight decrease to the urban Ward 1.
Okay, and just one further question, I guess, would be through to Mr. Ferguson, our Director of Finance. Where is Brandon? Oh, he's not here. Okay, yep. How would we, with the, as I understand the suspension of the provincial gas tax right now, are we receiving any funds from the province under that revenue stream?
Through the chair to Council Millette, yes, we do. We get an annual allocation via agreement. It's about $833,000, and we have guidelines to follow in accordance with that and what we can spend within that.
Excellent, thank you, Brandon. Much appreciated, thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Brown.
Thank you, Councillor Kelly. I'm hoping that everyone will support this particular activity, both as a Ward 2 councillor, but also as chair of the Transit Committee. The Transit Master Accessibility Plan that was just approved outlined the importance of mobility transit this year to over 1,500 riders, including those in Ward 2. Councillor Carr and I recognize that that we need to do more promotion to the Ward 2 residents about the availability of mobility transit if this moves forward. But as indicated in the report, currently there's about 65 registered users out of Ward 2, and we're expecting that will grow over the course of time. So I really encourage everyone for a small amount, for under $9 a year on the tax base, to include mobility transit. I think it is very economical and a service that, as we have an aging population, will only continue to grow. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Brown. Councilor Thompson.
Yeah, and I'm a bit of an advocate for the accessibility bus service, either urban or rural, and my concern is with the overuse or the more use in the rural section for mobility bus services. According to Mr. Reed, are we going to be able to fulfill that need with the number of buses we have for mobility buses? Or have we built it into the accessibility plan to expand the number of accessibility buses?
Through the chair to Councillor Thompson, we were very blessed that in the month of November and December, we did receive the 3 final buses that were allocated through the ISIP funding from the previous year. So we were lucky to finally get those. So those have actually had a significant decrease in the amount of breakdowns we've had, because our other 3 buses that we had were at end of life. So we're starting to see a decrease in the breakdowns, which is having some issues. We are just in the process of implementing our transit master plan and the new routes, which will then allow us to then really focus on the mobility service. And we are looking at some new booking services, booking program rather than the quick start that we currently use. So improvements are underway, and we're excited about the future.
So if I may, so the 3 buses that we have, and we got 3 new ones, well, the 3 antiques, will they be dismantled and just use the new ones? And what I'm trying to get at, are we in the plans to increase from 3 to 4 or 5?
Through Chair to Councillor Thompson. So currently we do have 6 mobility buses in our fleet. That's double the size that we had before. We will be utilizing the 3 that we have as spares because we had no spare redundancy in place. So this is going to allow us to have some spares in the fleet.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Thompson. Enright Miller?
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to lend my support for this motion. We hear in our accessibility committee meetings quite regularly about the need for expansion of service, particularly in the rural section. And as we have 65 residents that we know are using it now, we're anticipating that may even double. And again, as our population ages, so we would really seek everyone's support on this. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Enright Miller. Any other comments? Although, Mayor, go ahead. Oh, okay, all those in favor? Carried, thank you. 8A4, Black Bear Ridge Development Area Master Servicing Plan, the resolution that in accordance with Section 30.3, sole and single sourcing, approval and reporting of the city's purchasing bylaw 2023-183, the proposal submission from J.L. Richards and Associates be accepted to complete a master servicing plan for the Black Bear Ridge Development Area in the amount of $200,000 plus $26,000 HST for a total of $226,000. Can we get a mover? Councillor Alsop, seconded by Mayor Ellis. Any discussion? Councillor Thompson.
On the proposal of the $200,000, on the Black Bear Ridge development proposal that we were receiving, did I understand that that development company was going to be paying the full bill of taking services out there? And if I can have somebody sort of clarify that to me.
Thank you. We're going to go to Director Ashton.
Yeah, through the chair to you, Councillor Garnett. So yeah, the intention is that they'll be responsible for the cost of services that are directly related to servicing their development. So if there are, for instance, I know there were discussions about Harmony School, that would not be covered by Black Bear Ridge, as an example.
So this this plan or this approval acceptance for this hiring this company, that amount's going to be picked up by Black Bear Ridge Development Plan at the end. This will be our charge, and we will be paying this?
So it will be our study. The cost of the study is $200,000. Some of it will benefit the city itself, so we're putting in $25,000 to get some water models updated. And so, yeah, they will be responsible for the remainder. Approximately $175,000.
That Black Bear
GST.
will be responsible for?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Thompson. Any other discussion on this? We'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Approved. We'll go to consent items. You can tell me if you'd like to pull something, and we'll start with Councillor Thompson to my left.
No, thank you.
Councillor Enright Miller.
No, thank you.
Councillor Alsop.
No, thank you, Chair.
Councillor Brown.
Just the item that I've declared a conflict for, item 8B7.
Thank you. Councillor Chatton.
No, thank you, Chair.
Councillor Millet.
No,
Mayor-
thank you.
Mayor
No,
Ellis.
thank you.
Thank you. So, we'll just move them all. All right. The motion will read that all the consent items be approved. We need a mover. Councillor Chatton, seconded by Councillor Millet. Any discussion? All those in favor? Approved. Thank you. Where, 8C3. Okay. For other general information, council matters, we'll go the opposite way. Mayor Ellis.
8C2, if I could, please.
Councilor Millet.
No, thank you.
Can we just get confirmation on which one you're pulling, Mayor Ellis? 8C 2. Thank you. Councilor Millet was a no. Councilor Chatton.
No, thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Councilor Brown.
Thank you. Mayor Ellis has pulled the item I was going to request.
Thank you. Councilor Alsop.
No, thank you, Chair.
Councilor Enright Miller.
No, thank you, Chair.
Councilor Thompson.
I'd like to pull 8C to E, but I'm also going to realize I need to call a conflict on the one end that is called 8C2A. I need to call a conflict in that. I have a relative that it's on OW.
Thank you, Councilor Thompson. Can we get a mover and a seconder then? A mover, Councilor Alsop, seconded by Councilor Enright Miller. All those in favor? Carried. So we're gonna go to the one the mayor pulled. 8C2A.
Okay, I'll move that, Chair, and I just will make a quick comment on it, is to raise disability supports of people on work assistance and Ontario Disability Support. It's about housing and homelessness, and when you look at somebody that's on disability, they receive a maximum of $390 towards accommodation costs, which it hasn't kept up with inflation over the last 10 or 15 years. And when the average market rent is around $1,500 for a one-bedroom, there's a gap. So it's calling from supporting Chatham-Kent's motion to send this to our MPPs, and I guess they will send it in to AMO and Roma and councils in Ontario.
Thank you, Mayor. We need a seconder for that. Councilor Chatton. Any other discussion? Councilor Brown.
Thank you, Councillor Kelly. I too would like to throw my support behind this particular one for Ontario Works and Ontario Disability Program. One only has to listen to the homelessness reports and the rent subsidy reports to understand that it's this particular group of people who are probably struggling the most in terms of maintaining their homes, retaining their homes. So I would like to throw my full support behind this one as well, and I guess this is a heads up to our Chair for Community and Human Services. A copy of the letter, we have our Community and Human Services meeting this week. I'd like to take a copy of this letter to make sure that it's on, it's noted as under new business for this week's meeting to see if we can get the county to support it as well. So, as I said, I'm really hoping everyone will throw their support behind this and help people who are one step away from homelessness to be able to retain their properties. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Brown. Any other discussion? Call for the vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Just waiting for Mr. Thompson to come back. Mayor Ellis.
Oh, I was just waving my pen at you.
Oh, okay.
Keep the meeting going.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're going to go to 8C E, and this was pulled from the town of Aurora by Councillor Thompson. The floor is yours.
Thank you. I bring this up because, as we know, that in Parliament and in the communities, we're getting an awful lot of interdifferent faiths now, and we're getting people that are derogatory towards different faiths, not only in the communities itself, but also in Parliament. There was an article in the newspaper not long ago about how Parliament is behaving itself, and words are being used that shouldn't be used. We're accusing people of things that we shouldn't be accusing, and I think that this is a good step to show our diversity and to let people know that we're sick and tired of all the calling and name calling because of whatever reason. If we don't agree with somebody, confront them. Don't be starting to calling people names in whether it be in Parliament or communities is just another step that these people are saying, let's bring our community together as one, and let's stop the name calling and respect everybody's personality, level, and religion, and where they're from. So I'd like to have that support for this motion.
I'd second that for the,
Seconded by Mayor Ellis, and for those who are watching, this is a resolution from the town of Aurora calling on all levels of government to acknowledge uncertainty and safety concerns in Canada from coast to coast to coast. All those, any other discussion? All those in favor? Approved. Thank you. Last thing is 8D, rise and report. Can we get a mover? Councillor Alsop seconded. Not getting a seconder. Councillor Enright Miller. All those in favor? Thank you.
thank you, Councillor Kelly. As always, a great job to start the new year. Reading of bylaws. Following first and second reading of bylaws, member may discuss any bylaw under consideration. So I need a motion for first reading of bylaws 2024-01, 02, 03, 04, 05, 06, and 07. Moved by Councillor Alsop and seconded by Councillor Enright Miller. All in favor? Carried. Reading of second bylaws. Oh, Councillor Chatton.
I'm not sure, thank you, Your Worship. I'm just not sure where I can say I'd like to speak to 2023-197.
Next.
Okay,
Next,
thank
yeah.
you.
So, readings of bylaws and discussion. Bylaws 2023-197. Did we want to discuss that before I read the rest? Councillor Brown, you have your hand up.
Thank you, sir. I would like to actually ask that this one be tabled and returned to the Transportation Committee. Over the last month, we've had, we being Councillor Carr and I suspect other councillors around the table have had significant feedback from the residents on Thrasher. So we have another alternative we would like to review with the Transportation Committee.
Okay. So I'll take a motion on this now to get rid of this. Tabled, no discussion. Second that, okay. Councillor Millette, all in favor? Carried. Okay, perfect. Moving on, second reading bylaw discussion, starting with 2024-01, 02, 03, 04, 05, 06, and 07. Moved by Councillor Kelly, seconded by Councillor Enright Miller. Discussion. Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. Third and final reading of bylaws 2197, pardon me, pulled 2197. 2024-01, 02, 03, 04, 05, 06, and 07. Moved by Councillor Chatton, seconded by Councillor Enright Miller. All in favor? Carried. New business, anybody? Seeing none, I would like, since Councillor Carr is not here, if we could get a motion to table Councillor Carr's motion to the next council meeting. Councillor Brown, Councillor Chatton, all in favor? Carried. And now we move to notice of motion. Seeing none, we're at announcements. Councillor Thompson.
I have one proclamation. January is Alzheimer's Awareness Month across the nation. Every 3 seconds, someone in the world develops dementia. By 2050, nearly 1.7 million will be living with dementia. Locally, 5,000 people are estimated to be affected, excluding the thousands of family members who provide direct care. To help raise awareness of the Alzheimer's, the Belleville sign, Bridge Street, and Fire Station number Memorial Garden will all be lit up with blue as of today, and it's great to be able to read this today, if you worship. My neighbor, Ted Hurst, well known in the community, just passed away a few days ago because of Alzheimer's, so it was very appropriate. I read this, and Ted is having a celebration life this Sunday. Longtime hockey player, they called him the blind referee.
Sorry to hear that, Councillor Thompson, and condolences goes to the family. Thank you for that. Councillor Enright Miller.
Thank you, Your Worship. I do have a proclamation. Whereas February 11th is 211 Day across Canada, this is a free service for when residents are looking to access and/or navigate government, health, and social or community services in their regions. It operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. It is available by phone, web, chat, text, and email, and can assist in over 150 different languages. Communities across Ontario and across Canada will be paying tribute to the importance of 211 in helping Canadians and celebrating the frontline staff. Citizens of Belleville face various challenges in their lives, and 211 is there to connect them to the programs or services they need. Therefore, I, on behalf of the City of Belleville, do hereby proclaim February 11th to be 211 Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Enright Miller. Councillor Brown.
Thank you. January 24th is Bell Let's Talk Day. This is a very important day in our city and across the country. We ask residents of Belleville to take the time to recognize this day and to help raise awareness as we try and remove the stigma attached to mental health. To raise awareness, the Belleville sign, the Bridge Street Bridge, and Fire Station No. 1 Memorial Garden will be lit in blue on January the 24th.
Thank you, Councillor Brown. Councillor Chatton.
Thank you, Chair. I would like to proclaim that January is also to be Crime Stoppers Month. Crime Stoppers Quinte is a program separate from the standard methods of contacting police that allows members of the community to provide anonymous information about criminal activity without being directly involved in the investigation process. The Belleville sign, Bridge Street Bridge, and Fire Station No. 1 Memorial Garden will be lit red as of January the 15th for our cause.
Thank you, Councillor Chatton. Councillor Millette.
Thank you, Your Worship, and I too have a proclamation. Whereas superior mesenteric artery syndrome is an illness that affects approximately 0.03% of the population, it is a digestive condition that occurs when part of the small intestine is compressed between two arteries and causes partial or complete blockage. Symptoms can vary, but can be severely debilitating. Because it is a rare condition, one of the greatest tools in the fight to end superior mesenteric artery syndrome is raising awareness. Now therefore be it resolved that the City of Belleville does hereby proclaim January 28th to be World Superior Mesenteric Artery Syndrome Awareness Day, and the city will light local monuments purple to help raise awareness of this illness on that day. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Millette. You have announcements. Are we on our announcements? Oh, yes, we are. Councillor Kelly.
Thank you. Through you, Mayor, just a few comments. Over the last couple of weeks, we had a chance to celebrate Christmas and welcome in the new year, and I spent some time over at the Festival of Lights, and I just wanted to congratulate Councillor Thompson and his team with the Festival of Lights this year. A lot of people in our area enjoyed that part of Christmas, so job well done. And I wanted to just say, so nice to meet a lot of residents at the mayor's levy on New Year's Day at the Quinte Sports and Wellness Center. And I was in line with Councillor Brown, and we were kibitzing with the people coming in. And our area, blessed with a lot of new talent. I don't know if you felt that, but a lot of people that came to the levy were new residents to our city. And they love Belleville. Many came from Toronto and down southwestern Ontario, calling Belleville home. They love it. The biggest challenge, and Councillor Brown and I reassured them that under the mayor's leadership, we're continuing to hopefully attract more doctors to our area, to the city, because that was the #1 issue when we asked the question, what can we do for you to make your lived experience in the city, and they would like to have a doctor. That's their biggest challenge. So under the leadership of the mayor and Karen Post, we're moving forward on that. So just some of the things I sucked in over the last couple of weeks, just reflecting on our city as we move forward in a new year. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Kelly. Well said. And speaking of the levy, we had about 170 people come out. And again, I spoke to many people that were first-time residents or first-time levy goers, and the overall two challenges we talked about there was, one of them was doctor recruitment. I need a motion for the confirmatory bylaw, resolution that bylaw number 2024-08, a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council at its meeting held on January 8th, 2024, be read a first, second, and third time and finally passed this 8th day of January 2024. Councillor Alsop, Councillor Enright Miller, all in favor, carried. Motion to adjourn, Councillor Brown, Councillor Chatton, all in favor, carried. Thank you.